Yield.
I thank the chairman for yielding. I thank our witnesses for being here. Obviously, this is an important day in the lives of a lot of Americans. A little confession here. Because of the extra 2 days that we got this tax season, I actually got my taxes filed on time. I did not have to file an extension for the first time in probably 2 decades. Now, after several terms in Congress, my income tax calculation is much less complex than it was when I ran a small business, a medical practice, but still, even with a relatively straightforward, straight-line arrangement between wages and taxes, the tax forms that have to be completed are enormously complex. And there is the hidden cost of the hours that are spent in preparation, plus the monies that I must pay to a tax preparer, because even though my income situation is much more straightforward, I do not trust myself, nor do I trust anyone who wants to examine those returns, because we all know if you put 10 accountants in a room with tax data, they're going to come up with 10 different figures, and as a consequence, no one can sign their name at the bottom with a clear conscience that they've done everything right when no one knows what actually right is. I'm glad we're having the hearing today. Tax day is important to Americans. I think that there is a lot of the American electorate, a lot of the American people feel that simplifying the tax system should be one of our highest priorities. The discussions that we're going to have today will cover what our tax system should look like, what form it should be, how much it should tax, what it should tax. And there are so many opinions about this. Some feel that tax revenue should be about funding the government, while others want to use it for achieving social goals. And however laudable those agendas may be, my personal feeling is the tax code is not the proper means for achieving those. My predecessor in Congress, Dick Armey, was the author of a book about a flat tax. I bought this book back in 1995 or 1996, and it seemed so straightforward. I did not understand why it had not already been adopted and why we could not use it. For that reason, every year that I have been in Congress, I have introduced H.R. 1040, which is a derivative of the flat tax that Mr. Armey introduced, but this one would be optional. You have the right to opt into the flat tax. You have the right to continue your life under the complexity of the code if you have responded to the signals given by the tax code and arranged your finances in a way that that the tax code is to your friend. Then so be it. But if you want to simplify things, if you want to simplify your life, you can use a flat tax. And it is simple. You just put in some personal information, your income, personal exemptions, a generous personal exemption to put some progressivity into the system. You compute the tax and the amount already withheld, and it's done. It's that simple. And for those who are worried about fairness in the tax code, for a family of 4, there would be no tax on the first $43,000 of income. That's nearly double the federal poverty limit. The chairman mentioned that he wanted to get it right. The tax rate that I've proposed is 17%. Now, look, if you just look at the headlines today, Mitt Romney's paying 15%, Barack Obama's paying 20%. If you average those two percentages, it's 17%. It seems like we could do this if we just had the political will to take it up. But, Mr. Chairman, even if we don't implement a flat tax, we must have a simpler system that people can understand. As for such a complicated subject as taxes, we don't need more rhetoric. We don't need more complexity. We need serious proposals and not election year theatrics. And I certainly look forward to the testimony of our witness today, and thank you for yielding the time.
Thank you, Dr. Burgess. I would like now introduce our panel of